Well, the Swayback Slöjd. What was the idea behind that? I think I was always fascinated with these blades that were just really made for a specific purpose. I mean, that's where my entire fascination came from. This is maybe the reason why we have so many different tools, so many different blades, so many different type of axes. Not only bladed tools, but tools in general, right? We're all a little bit different. We all have different proportions. Some of us have bigger hands. Some of us have smaller hands. One job might be great because it has more reach to work on a kuksa, maybe something where you need to keep your hands a little bit further back and have a little bit more leverage, right? With a blade that's 10 centimeters long. And then maybe you have smaller hands like I do, just really stubby small hands. So carving constantly with a very long blade like this, you might not be really able to get most of it out of it, right? Out of that blade. So the original Swayback Slöjd is very much inspired by having spent time studying old knives, butcher knives maybe, knives that I've forged myself over the years, things that I've seen in museums and in movies and in different parts of the world. I was lucky to travel a lot and go to Brazil and Canada and Japan and live everywhere for a while, and I couldn't believe how some things are so different and other things are so similar. That just led me to believing that our body mechanics are very much dictating the way that the tools are looking. So the Swayback Slöjd is very much trying not to put our body into a certain position where we're able to slice efficiently and without a lot of effort, right? But it's actually trying to help us with that, so we don't have to distort our body as much, because I just think that continuously putting your body into a position that is not 100% natural is just causing a lot of strain. And if you have followed my channel for a while, you might know that I've had very bad problems with inflammations from lifting weights and grappling and swinging swords and grabbing tools maybe a little bit the wrong way or having the wrong technique or something, and all of that at the same time just caused huge amount of problems for me, tendonitis and golf elbow, tennis elbow, and I was like, well, maybe I just need to do something that makes it a little bit more, changes the angles a little bit, you know. And the Swayback Slöjd was very much inspired by, of course, my time traveling and training in Japan over about 11 years that I was lucky to train swordsmanship in Japan. And looking at all the different swords, again, not all of them are the same. It's a funny thing, you think all the swords are the same, but then you would say, as a toolmaker and a carver, all of a sudden I would realize some of them are straighter, some of them are longer, and some of them are more curved, and others have a higher grind, a lower grind, more convex, or just flat bevels. And I'm like, why is that? And then people would explain to me, this was for cutting this was for cutting that, this is for a small person, a big person, for armor, for regular clothes. And of course all of this is a little bit macabre, but what I'm trying to get at is the Swayback Slöjd was trying to do exactly that. It was just a different take on the Slöjd knife, for me personally. And I think over the years, just being lucky to have discussed and worked with some of the really greats like Nick Westerman, Reed Schwartz, and just having talked to so many other great carvers, I think it just has sparked a lot of inspiration, and we've of course talked so many things, this steel, that bevel, hollow grind or flat bevels, etc, etc. And I think this is just my attempt to put a couple of these ideas into realization. We're making these from 9HS, very reminiscent of bearing steel. They have a distal taper. Very important, they're stout, the smaller one, the very fun mini Swayback is stout. It's great for smaller hands, but it still packs the same punch as the big Swayback Slöjd. having no flex, which is so important. I can't stress it enough, and this has been part of so many conversations over the years. Just no flex. Don't get rid of your energy by putting it into flex. Just some stout, you know, putting it direct. And so these are starting at just under 3 millimeters at the base, and then they're tapering up to just under 2 millimeters, actually right behind the tip bevel. And that is just so much fun. So they're stout, they're thicker. But I think the idea behind that is really in combination with this 25-degree flat bevel with the stropped very edge, as you can see, it just puts just the right amount of sliciness into this. And having done many knives over the years that were for vegetable cutting or something that didn't have anything to do with wood carving, I think some of these influences came over thinking about bevels and what feels how in wood, what feels stronger, what feels slicier, but then again, what is losing the edge quicker. And I think very often when we're looking for these custom knives, the idea behind it is having a geometry that's a little bit more than a Mora 105, which is my personally favorite, easily obtainable Sloyd knife of all times. But we're looking for this extra, we're looking for something where it can hold the edge a little bit longer. The blade might be a little bit more ergonomic, a little bit longer maybe. It might have a distal taper so it can turn in tight curves inside a spoon, right? And then the next step was I wanted it full tang, round tang. Because really one of the biggest issues or problems for me personally as a knife maker always was to get blades straightly inserted into handles. And with flat tangs that is fine, but having a round tang where you can drill a controlled hole and then you carving the handle around that hole being straight, which I'm going to demonstrate in a future video of course, and then making it yourself at home, it's just so much more fun. And so I had so many questions over the years from finally doing these blades blade only, and we've decided now to do exactly that. And so they're available on my website. Sometimes they're in stock and sometimes they have the regular made to order wait time. But yeah, I just wanted to take my time a little bit today and just so you can have a look at these two. The Swayback Slöjd, as it was originally intended, just being really an extension of the ergonomics of your body mechanics, and then very, very new after a few months of just playing with designs and playing with ideas of shrinking it and what dimensions, the Swayback Mini. And I have very high hopes in this particular knife with its distal taper and its power. It's just a very powerful little guy. And I put a black locust handle in my dogleg Sloyd design on it. You can actually find a video on my YouTube channel. An 8-part series of building an entire dogleg Sloyd knife. And there's also some courses of course on my Boon TV page where you can watch how I'm making leather sheaths for this and how I'm actually fitting this type of handle onto a hook knife. And there will be a couple more videos about that. I'm working currently on some more features, but like I said, these will be available blade only, but there is going to be an option of course for you to contact me if you want to have a custom knife done, like the last video, like maybe the one before the last video, which is the Satyr Sloyd. And so yeah, I hope this was not too much rambling for you. I'm getting sometimes a little bit of hate mail on here for rambling, but I guess I'm trying to give you the reasons for the tools. I'm trying to give you the places in my mind that I went to and why these tools came into existence, because otherwise I would just be a guy shooting pictures and carving some stuff and putting some stuff online and saying it's cool, get it. And I don't think that's enough. I think this day and age it's important to just share why you're doing certain things, because the why behind things is what really is important. And this is what I'm learning from when people tell me their reasoning. Arguments without reasoning, or having an opinion without the reasoning behind it, is worth not even the air that it is produced with. So I hope that I brought this a little bit closer to you, and I hope this is not too long. I appreciate the support. You're finding all of the links down below to my course page. Over 70 hours on Boon TV now. Carving, decoration, proper systems backed up with reasoning of how to make carving a little bit more obtainable, a little bit more understandable, a little bit more systematic, a little bit less of a mysterious beavering yourself into a piece of wood, more efficiency, more safety, and an ongoing upward learning curve. So that's what you get on Boon TV. And then of course my website where you find apparel, my spoons that I'm carving, all my tools that I've been designing over the last several years. And yeah, I think that's about it. Thanks very much for the support. Like and subscribe, otherwise nobody's finding out that you like this stuff. And neither do I, so I would appreciate that. Alright folks, you have a good one. Cheers.